This 14 First Alert Special Report, Spring Storms 2017, sponsored by Heads Construction.
Welcome to Spring Storms 2017. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons. Tonight we're going to look back at the 2017 killer storm that came right through this area and followed a path that is eerily similar to other killer tornadoes in the past. We'll take a look at how the Interceptor has made chasing storms more effective and helpful for you, and we'll take you into a storm shelter. We'll show you how that phone in your pocket can be the most life-saving tool that you own. Our job here at 14 News is to keep you safe and informed. We do that with alert days. The 14 First Alert team developed these to let you know when to be on guard for dangerous weather. Our weather team put up the alert 4 days before a killer storm swept through the tri-state as February roared into March. In my 29 years of working at WFIE, I've had the great fortune of spending 24 of those with Byron Douglas, and we've certainly seen a lot of tornadoes in our time here on Channel 14, and particularly in this area here in northern Posey County.
Jeff, this has been a micro tornado climate. This area has been hammered. You know, since 1950, we've had 300 tornadoes scour across our area. 30 have been EF3 or greater. That's winds at 160 miles an hour, and 6 of them have been right in this area.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. In fact, I got my first taste of that for the Allendale tornado. That was in 1989, about 20 miles up the road in Wabash County. And then the year after that, the Petersburg tornado, which was, other than the 1925 tornado, the longest track storm that moved through, 106 miles. Here's a look at some coverage from that night. All right, another tornado warning, this one now for Pike County in Indiana. A tornado, apparently the same one that went through Mount Carmel, is expected to move in near Petersburg and Winslow in Pike County within the next 15 minutes or so. If you're in Winslow or any place else in northern Pike County, you need to take cover immediately. A tornado was spotted about a mile north of Fort Branch, and it's moving to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is the storm that should be moving into Pike County within the next 15 minutes. We're going to look at the Doppler radar right now. As that storm traveled across the northern part of the tri-state, and it did a lot of damage in Albion, Mount Carmel. It wiped out about a third of Petersburg with 7 fatalities, and at times that funnel was nearly a quarter mile wide, and it reached a EF4 strength a couple of times on its path right when it slammed into Petersburg. In fact, it was one of 2 EF4s that hit Petersburg that night.
And Jeff, the great tri-state tornado of 1925 that happened in this area of March, when I go out and talk with students, the deadliest tornado of all time ended in our area. And it spent some time here. It was on the ground for over 60 miles, and it killed 100 people, a devastating storm.
You were here in 2008, almost on this spot, taking video of another tornado. What was that like?
Well, we came up into the storm right along Interstate 64 as we approached Cynthiana, and then we were heading out towards Poseyville, and I saw it cross Interstate 64, then was heading over towards Owensville and then into Gibson County. Unfortunately, 2 lives were lost.
You know, the incredible thing right now is that the amount of warning that we get for tornadoes from the Storm Prediction Center. We knew days ahead that this was a possibility here.
I know when we started in the business, 25, 30 years ago, for a tornado warning, we had 3 to 6 minutes. Now with a warning, 13 to 16 minutes. But the Storm Prediction Center can give us advance notice, especially with those moderate risks. Sometimes an upgrade to a moderate risk, we can have several days notice.
Yeah, and here's a look at that moderate risk that was put out, and then I'm going to plot where the tornadoes actually struck. They're all within that risk. Pretty incredible. I think we're getting to the point where soon it will be possible to forecast tornadoes with even greater accuracy.
And the Storm Prediction Center does a really excellent job of upgrading, because we started out with a marginal slight, and then we had that big upgrade to a moderate that morning. Storm chasing is invaluable. Most tornadoes are still detected by people. It helps match up what we see on Doppler radar. Jason Gertison caught not 1 tornado, but 2. Jason, tell us about your journey.
Well, I knew there was going to be some strong storms that night after watching Jeff, and I decided to head out and see if I could spot any. It's been a long time dream to actually catch a tornado on the ground. I've got video and footage of funnel clouds, but never making it onto the ground, so I was hoping that night I might catch a glimpse, and got a really good shot with energy in the storm. There was a lot of lightning, and it lit up the sky in the background, and as the tornado moved past me, I happened to catch it, and got a good video of it. And at the time, I only saw the 1 main vortex. When I went back and looked at the video, I realized I actually caught 2.
lightning helped you see the storm.
That's right. It lit up the sky really good and provided a kind of a backlight, and you could see the wall cloud, the funnel, and that it was on the ground.
Storm chasing at night is extremely difficult. Were you able to use radar to match up what you were seeing?
It was radar that helped me know where to be and what to look for. I knew the hook was moving in a certain direction, so I positioned myself in a safe spot, but where I was close enough to still hopefully see it.
How did you know that you had that second tornado?
Well, I didn't know that I caught it until I went back and reviewed the video. I slowed it down and captured a still, and as I was doing that, I realized, wait, there's another vortex, and it was really exciting, the fact that I caught two, let alone one.
Multiple vortex tornadoes are known for some of the deadliest storms. Were you scared?
Well, not during. After the fact, I realized that I could have been potentially in a little more danger with there being multiple vortexes. I didn't realize that it was such a strong storm until after we got the feedback from the National Weather Service that it was an F3.
How do you feel? I mean, it's like detective work. After the storm, scientists can still learn a lot from what your video showed.
Well, I'm excited that I can share the kind of the face of the storm and the information that I can give back to the National Weather Service hopefully will help prevent more deaths from tornadoes.
It's kind of incredible because back in 2013, that El Reno tornado, the storm chasers that were killed, scientists think they were caught off guard by that second tornado.
Yeah, and I could definitely see how that could catch you off guard, because when I was out here, I figured, well, if there's one out there, and that's what I was looking for, is one. And even after seeing it, I didn't realize that there was two until I went back and looked at the footage.
Well, your video really helped tell the story. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Byron.
That's Jason Gertison.
The Interceptor has become a key part of our coverage here at the 14 First Alert Weather Team. Meteorologist Krista McEnany shows you some of the tools in the Interceptor that set our coverage apart.
The Interceptor is equipped with a mobile weather station, and it has 3 different cameras, including one on the roof, that gives you a 360-degree view so you won't miss a second of fast approaching storms. The 14 First Alert Interceptor has been with the team for just over a year, but in that short amount of time, I've had the pleasure of going on several adventures with it. From chasing severe storms with tornadic potential.
Zoom back out so we can kind of just get an overall look at the storm that has been triggering this tornado warning.
And again, some very impressive pictures coming out of the Interceptor now.
Looking at this wall cloud, I can see rotation in it.
And we're going to go to Krista. Krista, yeah, there you go, right now. And show us what you're seeing and tell us about it right now. It looks like you were right under the shelf of that cloud. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's definitely, we can see more definition. If you can pan up here, Dylan, we can see the shelf cloud getting ready to approach.
Not only does the Interceptor stay ahead of the storm, but it's also been there for the aftermath, like after an EF2 tornado hit Crofton, Kentucky last March.
It was so weird. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. And as I've told people, out here in the field were planks of wood that had been driven into the ground.
And again, just a few weeks ago, when an EF3 ripped through nearly 45 miles of the tri-state.
Eric Garlick has been cruising around in the 14 First Alert Interceptor in that area. Let's get another live report from him. Eric?
Now that things are starting to turn light, I want you to take a look at this damage behind me. Take a look at all of these trees. These are very healthy, mature trees that are snapped off quite high.
But the Interceptor has been there for more than severe weather. It's been there to track the wind, the fog.
We're actually in South Gibson County right now at Fort Branch Community School, and you can barely even see the school behind me. We have lots of fog in the area.
And the snow.
Krista McEnany is out on the roads in the Interceptor this morning.
Yeah, Krista, where are you now? What are you seeing? I know we've got some snow coming.
We just got into Carmi, and the snow has picked up a little bit. We're definitely seeing a little bit more on the ground. We'll go ahead and put this onto our roof cam to show you the road conditions, and it's much more clear that we've had a good bit more snow here. The Interceptor is more than just a car with a camera. It's a way for our 14 First Alert team to help you prepare for and see storms firsthand.
So a tornado is headed your way, and you have to shelter in place. But where do you go? Eric Garlick takes us into a storm shelter. Long before the Wizard of Oz made storm shelters famous, they've been saving lives and providing peace of mind. Eric Garlick invites us in.
When severe weather hits, one of the safest places you can be is in a storm shelter, and storm shelter sales have been on the increase already this year with an early start to severe weather. But it has been a busy business over the past decade, and there are a few different options.
We have safe rooms for inside garages. We have safe rooms for concrete slabs outside, and we also have garage floor models, and then we have underground.
Dan and his crew will travel up to 90 miles to install the shelters. He also says the Lifesaver brand is the only brand that he will install because they meet the regulations and have a lifetime warranty. This is an underground model that he just installed for a family in Warwick County just a few weeks ago who had their house damaged by a microburst a couple years ago.
Now we have a safe place that we can go. We don't have to get in the car, go, to another safe place or try to hunker down in the house. We have somewhere we can go where we feel safe.
The shelters can fit anywhere from 4 to 20 people and range from a couple of $1,000s to over $10,000. But even with a safe place like a storm shelter, you need to know what to do when the warnings are issued.
It's always a good idea to have an idea where to go, whether you're at home or whether you're at work or whether you're at school, to know what to do when the tornado sirens sound.
The first part of that plan should be to know when severe weather is possible, and the 14 First Alert Weather Team will help you know that information. The next step is to know where your safe place is.
And once you make it to that safe spot, preferably a basement, but an interior room without any windows will also work. It's not a bad idea to have a bike helmet stashed away or even a pillow. This will help keep you safe if a severe thunderstorm or a tornado does happen to damage your house.
You might be surprised at how much help your phone can be in a storm. Eric Garlick shows you how to get the most out of your phone. So you have this computer in your pocket that can save your life. Here's Eric to show you how to get the most out of it.
This is the first step in being prepared when severe weather happens. With the app, the weather team can publish localized videos with specific content in mind, such as a severe weather threat several days in advance. Along with that information, you will get current conditions, an hourly planner, and a 10-day forecast. Our interactive radar is a great tool to help you know exactly when the storms or rain will arrive. You can personalize the radar, and this will allow you to make it your own. There are a lot of different features, from road conditions to lightning strikes to specific storm tracks. To access this information, you will see a menu tab in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. In order to better suit your needs, you can personalize the app so you only get the information you want. The menu tab in the top left corner of your screen is where you can set up your location settings. If you would like to get updates and information about wherever you are, select the Use Current Location setting. If you would like to only get information and updates about a certain area, you can select that area in the Manage Locations tab. Also under the Menu tab is where you can set up what alerts you would like to get and the sound you will hear when the alert is issued. First, set up the location you would like to get the alerts about. Then you can select your alert sound. If you would like to only get watches and warnings, then select the severe weather alerts. But if you'd like to get personalized forecasts and other information from our weather team, select 14 First Alerts as well.
We always want to be sure that you are safe, but sometimes you get incredible pictures and video of the storm as it moves into your area. And those are pictures we're interested in to show online and on the air. Here's Beth Sweeney to show you how to get your pictures to us.
Hundreds of you have been a part of our storytelling process over the years when it comes to severe weather. Pictures and video around the tri-state showing us what's happening in your neighborhood. Whether it's storm damage, hail, ice, snow, you name it, your reports are important. When you can do so safely, here's the best way to share reports with us. Email video and pictures to upload at 14news.com, or you can upload those right from your 14 First Alert app. Just scroll down to the bottom and click on Submit Photos. Make sure to also send a description of the video or pic and your location, including street and city. The more details you can share with us, the better. You just may see your report on air, online, and on the app. We use your pictures and video to show the rest of the tri-state what's happening where you live. When we get pictures of heavy damage in a particular location, we can warn people to stay inside and to avoid travel there. Your pictures are a powerful tool, and we'll look to add your submissions as part of our severe storm coverage. Thank you for being a part of our effort to share weather reports in every part of the tri-state.
Your children may get to meet members of the 14 First Alert team. Let's talk about school visits. The 14 First Alert team visits schools and events around the tri-state. Let's go with Byron Douglas and see what that's like.
This is always one of the best parts of my job, going out and talk to schools. I'm going to be down at Holy Name today. I go out about 50 times a year, and I'm going to tell these students or talk to these students how they can be their thunderstorm detective, how they can read the skies all by themselves. The worst tornado of all time ended just north of Evansville in 1925. So these storms are very violent. It's a rotating column of air in contact with the earth. Who discovered lightning was electricity? He was a signer of the Declaration of Independence, and he's also on the $100 bill. Benjamin Franklin. All right, how many of you think lightning comes before thunder? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How the storm is 1 mile away. Cumulonimbus is a weather factory. These clouds grow vertically. Why? There's a saying, if you have an orange sky on Friday morning and a rain by Sunday, there's increased moisture out there. So the different colors, navy blue means if I'm driving into a storm and I see navy blue, then I know that there's plenty of rain within that cloud. So maybe I don't want to go into that particular cloud. I like to be out into the elements. So storm chasing is a big area in meteorology and communicating real-time information. A lot of times, why do the clouds look white? They're just reflecting the sunlight, and they will take on different colors, which we'll explain in a moment. Now we'll bounce up way high here and see the cirrus clouds. These are ice crystals, and these sometimes will forecast weather coming in over the next few days, or we're going to have some pretty nice weather.
We will always have turbulent weather in the tri-state, so being prepared is key. Our team works very hard to make sure you know well in advance with alert days when severe weather may impact your life. On behalf of me, Byron Douglas, Krista McEnany, and Eric Garlick, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching a 14 First Alert Special Report, Spring Storms 2017, sponsored by Heads Construction.